What up, dudes? We are almost at the end of week 1, and yeah, I skipped a couple of days because I've been working a lot this week and working on the bike a lot. A lot of it's just really boring stuff. It's just me staring at wiring diagrams and parts of the manual that I've printed out and trying to figure out what the hell's going on with this bike and the wiring. It's Friday right now. I'm gonna try and compile all these videos into just like, I don't know, first week of having the bike. Today I went to the DMV and got the title and the registration, everything figured out. I wanted to get all that straightened away first, all the paperwork, so that, you know, I officially own it. It is mine, it's in my name, everything's straight before, you know, I continue to dump money into it. I don't know where I left off a few days ago. I took the tank off and I got a good look at the spark plugs. They are a little bit black. It's running, so my guess is running rich, or it might have actually been burning a little bit of oil, which I hear is an issue with these bikes. The 2001, I'm not too worried about it. My biggest problem right now is just getting it to run and getting that clutch to work. Check this out. So I was able to get all of the wiring figured out and hooked up, and let me tell you, this guy totally lied to me. He said there was probably about 10,000 miles on it. Check it out. It's got almost 50,000 miles. Now, it's not a big issue for me. Like, 50,000, it's nothing, you know? The bike is, it's actually a 1200S. So this was the faired version of the bike. Kind of dig the version with the fairings, although it didn't come with the fairings. I know it's the same bike, but I might be able to pick up a set later on. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, that's where you'll be able to see everything that's going on. I managed to get these weird LED, like, they look so melted and faded from the sun, but I got them working, managed to hook them up, and I got the headlight all hooked up, and it's one of those like cheap, you know, eBay Street Fighter type headlights. They completely junked up this taillight, and that there we go. So the license plate light that's supposed to, like, you know, light up, it's completely missing. It's not, there's no light in there, so I'm gonna have to figure out something that might fit in there. But they completely, I could totally just ghetto rig this on, but they tore up the wiring for this taillight, and I have no clue why. They disconnected it and then rewired the positives together and a ground, and literally just had the running lights. They twisted it and taped up brake switch lights, like, you know, when you, let's see if I got it working. I managed to figure out the wiring, I'm just looking at the diagram to get that working, and I have no idea why they would wire past that. My only guess is that this bike was a stunt bike. Like, that's hands down. They had it enough to be legal on the road to get it where they wanted to go, and then they stunted it, you know? Alright, you guys got to check this one out. So I'm cleaning up the chain here, and as you can see, it's looking real good. It's looking a lot better. The chain itself is very rusty. I guess what I'm saying is this whole area was filled with gunk and grime about this thick. So, what do you know? This sprocket, check it out. This sprocket, it's actually not black. It's, you know, it's gray steel. Look at this dirt. Just spraying away. Just holy crap. Just awful. I'll check back with you after a copious amount of scrubbing. So this was supposed to be posted over the weekend, and this is obviously not being posted on the weekend I planned. It's being posted on Wednesday. So, happy Wasteland Wednesday, I suppose. Not quite Wasteland, more like Rat Bike Wednesday, Fixing Up Bike Wednesday. So I think I left off with the chain, or I was going to clean the chain, and we managed to do that. And check that out. Holy moly. The sprocket isn't black. It's still got some gunk. I literally went through 2.5 cans of chain cleaner just to get all the gunk off, and I said, you know what? I'm going to call it good. I just can't get any better than that. There's just, I'm not going to keep going and get it perfect, because obviously this bike's not perfect, and I don't even know if it runs. So I've got the chain all clean, this whole area is clean. We're still waiting on the part. It is currently Tuesday. Cleaned out the tank the best that I can. It does have rust inside the tank, or what is the beginning of rust, and obviously there was water, and I could tell from the petcock there was definitely a layer of water sitting in there. So to be honest, it's really not as bad as I had thought. It's got little flecks of rust starting up. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Like I said, gotta get it started. I've got the battery on a slow trickle charge. I charge it up a little bit just to get all my wiring figured out, and now I've just got it on a slow charge so that when I do go to start it, it has power to start. What do you know? What I did yesterday was completely bleed out both the front and the rear brakes, and so the rear brakes the pads are getting real low. Still, like, not my biggest concern at the moment. Now the rear brake actually works. What do you know? And I got the rear switch brake the switch light to work because it also, what do you know, was not plugged in correctly. It was one prong off. A good feeling, you guys. I have a good feeling that it's gonna start. I know I'm gonna want to take it for a spin. And what I'm gonna do with these actually is I had this quick idea I'm gonna work with here. These were for the mirrors, and I don't have mirrors that fit. They are a different size than the old Bandit that I have because I have an old mirror from that. So instead of putting a mirror there, you know, I moved it here, and I don't know what freaking size these handlebars are. What I'm going to do is turn these like this, and so I'll have a screw here and just have some kind of bracket come out and just hold that in place so I can still reach my key. I don't want the key to be covered. Now, I feel like it's definitely not going to look the best. Like, it's going to look really derpy with that speedometer just kind of hanging over the top, but I figure I'll figure that out later. For right now, it's not about aesthetics. It's just about getting it working right. So sorry I haven't posted a video. I'll try and keep these coming out more, even though it's nothing too fun right now. It's just real basic stuff. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging in there. And to all the new subscribers, welcome to the channel. I hope you dig the kind of stuff I'm gonna do, and I hope you guys dig the Bandit. Well, this is it, guys. The part we've all been waiting for. No, really, this is the part we've all been waiting for. Almost not quite 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks, and I finally got the new seal for the slave cylinder piston. And the kind people at Mototech, they lent me the tool I needed for the clutch so that I can hold the clutch pressure plate in place while I torque the nut back on. So thank you guys so much. Mototech and Vacaville. You guys are having Vacaville and you need bike work. These are the guys to go to. So now that I got this tool to tighten down the clutch, I can get that all buttoned up, and then we're going to put the slave cylinder together with the new seal, put the fluid in there, and then in theory I should have a working clutch. So let's give that a try. 96.9 Hopefully this picks it up. Alright, well, I was gonna put the clutch all back together, but the tool that the shop lent me does not fit. No matter which way I turn it or try to put it in, it just doesn't work for what I'm trying to do. So while it may be the tool I need, it is not the right one. I have to go back in the morning and try and get that done. So in the meantime, what I'm going to be doing is putting the slave cylinder seal back into the piston. Gonna come around here and pull this all off again, fill it with fluid, get that cable back on there, flush all the old stuff out, and at least that will be ready. So when I go in the morning back to the shop, I can tell them, hey, this ain't the right tool. Alright, here we are, dudes, back at it again. It's Monday, June 5th, and the last little clip that you guys saw, I think this is gonna be part 3. I really did think I was gonna get this bike started and back together. Very naive, alright? You can't get too ahead of yourself when you have such a large project. Turned out that the tool that the shop gave me just wasn't going to work for the bike. So they offered to let me bring it over. They're just going to use an impact gun and torque that nut down. That's going to be awesome. It's going to save me a lot of time and the extra little cost of a tool that I hopefully won't need again. So I pulled off the hoses and the bolts, and I'm going to flush these out and get all the old nasty oil out of them. And right now what I'm trying to do is figure out what the heck is going on with the oil cooler. So now you guys can get a really clear image of just how bent this is. So hopefully you can see what I kind of did there. Just took a little thing and kind of chiseled it and hit it. But I think it worked. It's straight enough. Alright guys, so I did my best to get as far as I can go without having to take the bike to a shop. Right now I'm about to tow her over to Mototech, and or it to Mototech. completely cleaned this up, flushed everything out, and everything looks way cleaner. I scrubbed it down, and while it might still like be surface dirty, I found out that there's this thing called the pair system, and it's basically tubes that run out of the cylinder into some sort of contraption. I'm not exactly sure what it does. You're supposed to weld these shut or create some kind of gasket, and there's one on each cylinder, and it looks like they just pinched it shut where you're supposed to connect the hose. So I'm hoping that's where all the oil is coming from. So everything else looks pretty solid. I've got the new filter on there. Everything's been cleaned up, so hopefully I can just shove some kind of gasket in there and get that all cleaned up. But yeah. Alright dudes, we are getting closer and closer to that moment of truth. Refilled the master cylinder, and now we have our clutch back here, which is awesome. So far, everything looks like it's good. Looks like it's ready to rock and roll. I'm gonna fill it with oil and see what happens. Alright dudes, we got oil in the engine. Everything's all tightened up and put back together. We have hopefully a working clutch, so let's not jinx ourselves here. Shit gas in the carbs, but at least we can see if the starter's gonna turn. We see if the motor's gonna try and turn over, so let's try it. See what happens. Hey! Alright, we got something!
Hey, it cranks.
It does, that's awesome. Oh, well, it looks like it's not starting today, and maybe I will take some time tomorrow and try and get it start, but I feel like it's a pretty good wrap up. Maybe it really does just need some new plugs, and we'll give that a shot and see what happens. And don't worry, we will get this bike back up and running. It's gonna be sick. Try number 3.